Yes, ma'am.
I'll share my screen. So is my screen visible to everyone? And am I audible?
Yes.
Clearly audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Good.
ma'am.
Yes.
That's great. Okay. So shall I place it here for the time being? So very good evening to everyone, and wish you all a very, very happy new year. And thank you so much for taking out time. It is, I think, vacation time for most of us, though our schools reopened today. I had to go to school. And it's really cold here, north up. So evening, 6 o'clock, everybody wants to snuggle, but I can see a good 74, 75, 76 number of erudite teachers here. Thank you so much. And all that I want for today is that there should be some takeaway for everyone, whether somebody has joined in from the first minute. Some of them could squeeze in time after 10, 15 minutes, last 12 minutes, last half an hour. Even if there is one single takeaway today, I think my mission is accomplished. Okay, so all of us are, teachers who have been teaching this English language for so many years. All of us are experts, but then there is always something that we can learn and, kind of add on when we are teaching our students. So as far as letter writing is concerned, if I talk about the CBSE writing skills, fine. So it is now termed as creative writing, and especially for class 10, you have this breakup of format for 1 mark, content for 2 marks, organization. We all have been seeing this, talking about this. How much are we doing with our students effectively? Effectively is the key word for today's webinar. Format, we do in the class. Fine. Content, I try my best to somehow tell them. It's a subjective thing. We cannot all the time tell them everything which is to be, that is to be covered in a letter. Then what is it that I should do in a class so that my student is able to get maximum marks in his or her writing skill? Organization of ideas. I myself in the classes will, when I mark the papers, I'll tell them expression is weak. Accuracy, some problem. Fine. But what is the problem? Are we able to tell this to the students? Did we train the students in such a way that they are now able to understand their fault, or they are able to commit less errors, right? So that is what I want to draw your attention towards today. Okay. Now, when we are doing writing skills with students, we need to understand that writing skills in itself is a complex skill, because it involves, a number of sub skills. A learner has to think and then plan and then, write the content with proper expression, not to forget the grammar and punctuation. So many things the learner is supposed to do, together to accomplish a good writing skill, right? Is Lata ma'am trying to say something? Or is it by mistake? Okay, so now this makes the role of the facilitators all the more important, right? They have to pay a lot of attention for their grammar structures, to make them understand how to make meaningful sentences, how to present ideas in a sequential order, logical order, coherent manner. Very, very important. Now, including me, all of us are in a rush to complete our syllabus. We have our regular 35-40 minute period. And when it comes to writing skill, believe me or not, some kind of stepmotherly treatment is given to it. We'll do it in a jiffy. We will, not give as much time as we give to maybe a lesson and the question answers that we do with it in a lesson, or maybe when we teach grammar to students. Writing skill is something, we'll try to do it in a hurry. One class, two classes, one writing skill done. So this is something which we need to be wary of. And if we kind of, practice, do our writing skills in a stepwise manner with the students, I think it is going to be very easy for the students. And if I'm not wrong, I don't know, do you take this feedback from your students? All of us have students of mixed types. Some are below average, above average. Majority of our students, I'm not talking about the ones who are, very good in writing skills, creative students, they are the 5-10% ones. Majority of them will have this fear of doing writing skills. They will do the writing skills at the end. They will say, we will do the scoring portion first. Why isn't writing skill a scoring portion for them? Why is it that we will do this at the end? All right. So let's try and make writing skill at par with all the other areas. Let it be as scoring as section A, reading comprehension, or maybe section C, literature section. Why this fear of writing skills, right? So I hope today, when we are through with this session, we'll be able to go back to our classes and make our learners much more confident. So writing is a process. Teaching writing skills is again something which has to be broken down into simple steps. What we, the facilitators, do, we will, treat it as a single shot process. Fine, just do it in a hurry. And that is why perhaps that lacuna is there, right? So if we try to understand that we have to move back and forth, we have to do the pre-writing step of the writing process, then we need to draft it and then go back and revise it and then rewrite it. I will discuss all of this, slowly. I think writing skill teaching will become easier. Okay, before I actually go to the steps of writing, let me just quickly talk about this particular small difference between cohesion and coherence, which we keep on, talking about every time. And we pay little attention when we are doing this in the class. If we make our learners also learn, be comfortable with this, they know what is the meaning of cohesion, what is the meaning of coherence, what are we expecting from them, things will become much easier. I also recently attended a webinar by respected Ruchi ma'am. She is a CBSE master trainer. I've learned a lot from her. If I talk about cohesion and coherence, it will be a 2 or 3 hour long session. I have taken just one nano part of it and tried to include it here so that you all can get, a hint as to what do we mean by cohesion, what do we mean by coherence, how do we tell our learners about this, okay? So simple lines I have put up on the screen. I'll read it out for you. Fine. Ronnie's lucky number is 9. 9 is an auspicious number. Auspicious occasions are Ronnie's favorite. Ronnie recently attended an auspicious occasion. Ronnie was very happy because his parents allowed him to skip school for attending the auspicious occasion. It's clearly mentioned on the screen. You may take a screenshot if you want. The sentences, they connect clearly together, but if we read them, they don't form, they don't make any sense. There is nothing, which one can make out of these. Fine. So a text is supposed to be coherent when we can translate it, we can paraphrase it, we can explain its meaning to someone else. But here there is no meaning as such. Fine, though grammatically the sentences are correct. This is what we need to explain to our students when they come and say, we have already written what you are saying, likha to hua hai, marks nahi mile. This is what they say now. So why were the marks? Likha to hua hai, it's written over here also, right? But why the marks were deducted? Because there wasn't any coherence. Now I need to tell my child what is the meaning of coherence. What was I expecting from the child? Fine. So coherence means unity and order. Fine. Now how this unity and order will be set, this can be set with the help, maybe in something which is coming in a chronological order, something in the order of importance, maybe in the order of priority, or in the order of logic. Fine. This is how unity order is set. So we need to tell the students. Fine. I repeat, I am doing this in a jiffy, in very, very brief, but you can talk about this in detail, give practice. There are coherence and cohesion practice exercises, which ma'am had done with us, right? So we need to do those with the students, not only for letter writing, for paragraph writing, analytical paragraph, any type of writing, even if they're writing an answer. Unity and order is expected even there, right? So we need to teach this to the students. Now, this is a text which you have on our on your screens where coherence is there, but cohesion is not there. Ronnie's favorite number is 9. He is happy and excited. He loves to attend festivals. Fine. It is still not comprehensible because we haven't used proper connectors here. Fine. Ideas are not joined together in a proper way. So cohesion actually means linking and connecting of ideas with the help of linking words, right? So now look at this. Ronnie's favorite number is 9. He is happy and excited because I have added this word over here because his roll number is 9. I have given that connector there, a linking word there to join the idea because his roll number is 9. And again, I have connected this. He considers it auspicious. He loves to attend festivals because they are auspicious occasions. Now see, every sentence is connected logically with the sentence which comes before it and with the sentence which comes after it. Fine. So it is but natural. Our students will write sentences which are grammatically correct in a sequence like the ones I showed you in the previous slide, and then they will ask us that why they have not got marks. So we have to tell them pre-hand, train them in such a way that see cohesion and coherence proper use.
What happened?
And please unmute yourself.
Back, I'm here. And I hope we were doing this. And here is. Okay. So is this visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Again.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, yeah. So when I talk about coherence, coherence means that it is kind of a building. Fine. And cohesion is something which you can explain to the students with the help of the analogy of bricks and cement. So you need bricks and cement to construct a building. This is the difference between cohesion and coherence, which the students need to know, and we need to train them for any writing skill for that matter, not only letter writing, right? So very, very important. This is something which we somehow knowingly or unknowingly don't talk about usually in our class, or we will talk about it in brief, not in a comprehensive way so that the students are able to understand, right? I can, be very, very candid about telling this, that I have not been doing it in my classes till the time I got to know, oh my God, this is the way of doing it. What was I missing, right? And believe me, it makes a difference. It does make a difference. Okay. Now, if I talk about, just now I told you about cohesion, fine. So cohesion requires telling the learners about the usage of words, cohesive devices, fine. Because as you can see on your screen, words are the currency of communication. Are we giving our students these cohesive devices? Are we giving this list to them? I had discussed this when I did my analytical paragraph webinar also, fine. That are we telling them that if they have to add a point or a statement, they can use the following words. When they have to, sequence something, then they can use these words, firstly, secondly, subsequently, emphasize. If they have to do something, then these are the words. Are we giving these words to them? Cause and effect, to show that they have to use these words. And after giving them, are we giving them practice? Are we giving them practice to use these words? Right? So simply by, yes, telling them, it will make a difference, but practicing with them will make all the more, things rosier for the students and for us, the teachers also. Okay. Now, the most important thing is that we have to discuss today is the writing skill. The writing process. Now, as I had talked in my previous part of today's webinar, that we need to divide the writing process into smaller parts. We have been doing this in our classes, fine. The first step for writing, suppose a letter, you get a topic, you will do brainstorming with the students, put up the ideas that the students give you in the class, or maybe they sit in pairs, that is where pair work, and maybe in groups of 4, that is where collaboration will come in. They discuss and they come up with the points of their groups and they put it on the chalkboard, or maybe you have it in the form of digital points. You can show them after they have discussed. You can show it to them on your smart boards, whatever way you want, fine. So this is your pre-writing task. Before they actually start writing, are we giving them enough of food for thought? And that has to come from them. If you are doing scaffolding, some of it can come from you, remaining will come from them, and we have the content with us. Okay. Then drafting actually means quickly putting them together on paper. Revising it means reorganizing it, is what is the proper order in which we have to write them, so that they are coherent, fine. Then do the editing to remove grammatical errors, punctuation errors, and try to add cohesive words, devices in that. Then see that whether we have been able to write appropriately, evaluate it. Fine, this evaluation can be your evaluation, facilitator can do it, peers can do it, fine. And then publishing is not something which we are publishing, is for actually bringing out a piece of writing, fine. We at school level are concerned only with the first 5 stages, right? And I have tried to, this is there in our books also, many of us follow it. The writing process simplified for students. Again, whatever I am trying to do with you, I am doing with the from the point of view of a practicing teacher. what all problems I have come across in my class. How have I been able to overcome them? Fine. Again, like all of you, even I am bound by syllabus. I cannot tell my students to write the draft, then make corrections in it, then rewrite it. Neither do they have this much time in the class, nor do they have this much time in the examination. Okay, fine. So yes, collection of ideas. This could be through brainstorming. This could be through research work. This could be through pair discussion, whatever way they want. Organization of idea, try to, come up with a simpler way. Like if I talk about, I'm just going to come to coder in a little while, so that you know how to implement coder in your classes. Okay. So today, our first letter is the letter to the editor. We all know that letter to the editor can be for creating awareness, for, talking about a social issue or complaining about a problem. We all know this, fine. This is something which I really wanted to, talk about in our today's session, that when you are doing, you all are doing it fabulously. Format is not a problem with us, the teachers. We are very quick in doing that 1 mark format for us too. Fine, it is there everywhere in the books. Fine. However, because I am doing effective letter writing techniques with you, so I thought that I should touch the format of a formal letter. And I should also try and tell you a way in which, if you try to do it with your students, they will not make errors in the format also. How many times it happens with us, doesn't it? In spite of me telling you the format 100 times, again, you have committed the same error. I taught you format in class 9, I taught you in 10th, I taught you in 11th, 12th class, again, you're committing the same error. It happens with us, right? So let's try and figure out how to overcome this. Fine. We all know, first we have to write in a formal letter. Sender's address is the first thing. Sender's address will be in 3-line format, and we will not punctuate it. Fine. Then leaving a line is a part of the format. Date, as far as possible, should be written in this format only. You can write the year if you want to write. Now, what I do with my students, this is my personal way of doing it, and it works. Write the incorrect way and put a cross. In your notebooks, write the incorrect way and put a cross. Remember forever, this is not that we have to do. Put a comma here and put a cross against it. You should remember the comma should not come here. Put a comma over here, put a comma here, full stop. Students are in a habit. Somebody's microphone is, if somebody's microphone.
Can you mute everyone?
No, I haven't. Okay, fine. So after writing the date, the next thing is the receiver's designation. Tell the students, write this PO2, put a cross against it, or put a big cross on it. Don't use PO, it's not used now, it's obsolete. Fine. Then the receiver's designation, just that we will do the letter to the editor. So I have written the over here, right? Otherwise, tell them that this designation will begin with a capital letter, whether it is the MCD inspector or the SHO or the principal, whomsoever you are writing. Fine. The biggest error that these students make, write a letter to the editor of a national daily. So please don't write national daily. You have to write the name of a newspaper. Fine. So write national daily and put a cross against it. National daily is not to be used. Use the Hindu, Hindustan Times, Times of India, like that. Okay. 3-line format, punctuation, not to be punctuated. Dear sir, ma'am, only sir, ma'am, all are acceptable. Fine. Don't put a comma over here. Subject, be brief. And then when you tell them, underline the subject very, very nicely. What they will do, they will come and underline subject. Tell them this subject is not to be underlined. Underline this subject, the subject which you are writing, on which you are writing. And then, very important, this, what all I have told you, most of us do. Please give sentences like these to your students. These will help not only the students, those who are above average students, but also students, those who are average and below average. They need some kind of hand holding. We can't simply tell them, we had taught you letter to the editor. How is it that you are not able to write now? So give them these sentences. They will be able to use these sentences and, you know, come up with a little bit of idea of their own. See, so tell them that through the column of your esteemed newspaper, prestigious newspaper, I would like to learn this much, especially for the weak learners, those who don't know how to write the single sentence on their own. Whatever has to be written over here, I would like to pick up from the question. It will usually be there in the question. I would like to sensitize the readers about youngsters hooked to gadgets. I would like to draw the attention of the concerned authorities towards the power outages happening in my society. I would like to spread awareness about COVID appropriate behavior. Whatever is the subject, that will come in this blank. Then tell them that you can use these expressions also. I want to use your widely read newspaper. I'm writing to express myself. You have given them so much to, you know, build their expression, that now they will not have a problem in understanding how to write my paragraph number 1. Right? So please give them something. This scaffolding is very, very important. This is something which we usually miss on. We will do the format in detail with them. We will not do the formatting for the paragraphs, or we'll forget to give them the linking words, the cohesive devices. So the students, you know, they will just struggle with the writing skills, right? See, this is for your second paragraph. Fine. These are the same devices which I had shown in the list just now, a few slides ago. Fine. Your if you want to talk about some points that you want to list, you can use these words like firstly, secondly, what is more, what we also need to consider. These are various phrases which they can use. Right? You want to talk about consequences and results, use these words. Second paragraph will, in the second paragraph, you have to mention facts and figures, give examples, and then how to give them. I know this blue line, most of us will talk about in the class, but how to do it, we miss that. Fine. Now, after the second paragraph, the third paragraph, fine, to sum up, how to sum up, lastly, finally, give solutions, suggestions, fine. So use these sentences. Please give my views some space in your prestigious newspaper. I want to sensitize the readers about, create awareness about, bring to the notice of the government. Give these scaffolding lines to them. And then tell them, please look into the matter. Please do something to resolve. The problem is not to be written. The editor will not look into the problem. The editor will not resolve the problem. So please don't write this, all right? Write it in your notebooks and cross it out with your own pen, with your own pencil. And make sure you don't use this sentence again. Fine? And I hope and believe that if so many sentences are given to the students, fine, if these words are given to the students and you have done brainstorming with them, letter writing will not be difficult for even the below average children. Right? Talk about the complimentary clause. Tell them that this apostrophe, the favorite of the students, I don't know why, will not be there. Fine. Let them write it on their own. Let them cross it on their own. And please, in future, don't write it. Fine. Truly, spellings of truly. I don't know why. As a spot evaluation examiner, I have seen this. I have seen it in the notebooks of my students. And then I only devise this way. Let them write the incorrect spelling first. Let them on their own cross it out and then write the correct spellings. Fine. Tell the students that either write the fictitious name or an imaginary name or the name which is given in not the newspaper. I'm sorry, it's the typing error, the question paper. Question paper. Okay. And please don't write ABC, XYZ. Avoid it as much as possible. And don't write your own name. Somebody's microphone is on and the meeting is going to get over, say in another 2-3 minutes. Kindly rejoin with the same link. Sender's designation is not compulsory. If it is given in the question, you can write. If it is not given, then we need not write it. Okay, fine. Okay, and this is something again which I learned in a recent capacity building program that I had attended with respected Ruchi ma'am, and this is something which I have adapted from her. I learned there and I've tried to adapt it. Tip for learning the format of formal letter. Fine, it's a jingle. Yaar tera dance. Yaar dance tera sabse sundar lage. Yaar sun yaar sachi. The sachi has to be said like this. It was a signature style of ma'am and the teachers whom she had, you know, addressed over there. Fine. And tried and tested by so many who were there that once this is done by the students, they definitely do not forget it. So all the teachers, those who were there in that capacity building program held on 3rd or 24th of December, everybody loved it and I loved it too. So I brought it here for everyone. Okay. So imagine a teacher suddenly breaking into a jingle in class 11th and 12th. First, they will think something is wrong with ma'am, something is wrong with sir, but believe me, they'll remember it forever. They'll remember it forever. Okay, so this is the back to our coder. Fine. A simple question was there in my communicative English book on some environment pollution. I have actually brought a sample of a student of my own class. So collection of ideas was done in this way. All the students, those who are able to write, they were told to sit in pairs with those who are slightly not able to write in the class. They were not categorically pointed out at all. Fine. Just by, you know, pairing them up in my own random order, I made them sit together and I told them to list, talk to each other. One could write, one could not write. Tell each other what are your ideas about the question. They listed it here in their notebooks. Fine. Once the ideas were there in their notebooks, each pair was told to stand up and tell their idea, which was put up on the chalkboard. Now, all the ideas were there of all the groups. It was a class of say 38, 40, 20 pairs, 20 ideas on the chalkboard. And then everybody, the speaker and the non-speaker, both of them were told to now complete your notebooks. You have already written 10, 12 points, 20 are there on the board. See if you have missed any. You won't believe. Every child had 25 to 30 ideas for one single letter. Letter is of how many words?